Hello, everybody. Welcome to It's Sybil. I'm Sybil Wilkes, and it is Dummy Dom Day. Hey, Dominique, how are
Hey,
you?
Sibby, what's up, Coy?
Hey, Dominique. Hey, Sybil.
And our Coy Day. How are you, young Coy?
I'm doing pretty well. How's everyone doing today?
Everybody's good. At least I am. I
Good.
can't speak
Thank
for
you,
Dominique.
Coy.
Dominique, what are you up to these days? Where you been? What's the word? What's the goings-ons? What's the haps?
Oh Lord, ain't nothing going on, see.
Dominique, you know you're a lie and your feet stink. What is
Uh-uh.
going? You always have something going on.
I've been trying to work out more, so
Okay,
that's about it.
and you look thinner.
Thank you, but I gotta, people when you're trying to lose weight, people don't realize it starts in the kitchen. You can exercise
Right.
all you want to, but it really starts in the kitchen. So I'll be on a better track once I can narrow down the kitchen.
So
Because the
what is it?
kitchen's
So
still
what is
out of control.
you got a lot of junk in the kitchen?
Oh man, potato chips is just
Yeah.
way off balance.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
understand
salads,
that.
they got everything on it. You know how people make salads. You
Yeah,
can't even see the lettuce.
right,
You
right.
got
Have
more
you
ham and turkey and eggs and everything else.
have you seen that joke on Instagram? People are like, "Oh, I'm only eating salads these days," and it's chock full of all of
Everything.
the potato salad and all the heavy dressings and that
them
stuff on there.
the
Like,
kind of them the
this.
kind of salads I'm doing right now.
Yeah, I know. You can't help
Yeah.
it. Coy, I suspect you're a good one in terms of your diet, huh?
Yeah, it took some time, though. It's not something that you just jump into. It's almost
Yeah.
like when you're trying to quit, almost like when you're trying to quit cigarettes or quit eating sugar, you can send yourself into a shock trying to go straight into healthy food from what you're used to. So I always just suggest to people just take increments by
hmm
increasing the good foods, decreasing the bad foods, and eventually you'll get to a healthy balance.
Yeah, I do that with whenever I quit coffee. Sometimes I can do it cold turkey. Like when I have a cold, for whatever reason, coffee just doesn't sit well with me when I have a bad cold. But if I'm just trying to do it, any other time, I will try to. I won't go cold turkey. I'll, just eliminate. Even if I have sweet and low or something in it, try to take it out so that just pure black coffee, does not work for me. And so that kind of ease out of the whole coffee drinking thing for me. Dom, where are you working these days? I know last time I believe we wanted you to come on. You were traveling, and I know you got some dates and stuff coming up.
Yeah, so this month I'm going to be just doing some shows in LA. I'll be at Ruby Tuesdays. So I'll be there. That's my guy's room. So I go there like Ruben Paul's room. So I go there almost like every week. And so I'll be doing some in-town shows. But in September, I'm going to be going to the Comedy House, the Chuckles Comedy House in Jackson, Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
That's the 17th through September 17th through the 19th. And I'm also going to be the following week, the 24th and the 25th, I'll be in Toledo, Ohio at the Toledo Funny Bone.
Okay.
October the 1st, I'll be at Constitution Hall in my hometown
Oh, you're
of
going to
Washington,
home.
D.C. Yes.
Nice.
So I'll be at Constitution Hall, and that's going to show is going to be Mike Epps' show. And then on the 16th in Detroit, I'm doing the Sweetest Day show with nephew Tommy from the Steve Harvey Morning Show, Guy Torrey, my good friend, Tommy Davidson, and I'm leaving one other person out. I can't remember yet, but I'm sorry.
That's okay. I mean, that's a good one. I know Coy laughed thinking about Jackson, Mississippi, and going back to your old days, huh?
Yes. Oh, I've had so much fun at Jackson State University. It was some of the best times of my life.
Oh, that's
Tell
nice.
them come to the show, cool.
Yes. Give me a flyer. I'm gonna take it over there.
A flyer.
Okay, but I do have a flyer, and I'm gonna give it to Coy. It'll be ready tomorrow, Coy. Actually,
I'll post it. I'll ask my school's alumni page to repost it for you. I think that.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
Coy.
That's great. All right, let's take a look at what's going on in the news. And the first person up, I'd like to give a get well shout out to two civil rights giants, both hospitalized with the coronavirus. Our friend and the one and only leader, Reverend Jesse Jackson and Mrs. Jacqueline Jackson, both hospitalized over the weekend with coronavirus. They're both in their 70s. The difference between them, this married couple, is that he has been vaccinated. She has not. She was not vaccinated. As he said, there were some pre-existing conditions which did not. I don't know if it precluded her from getting the vaccine or what the situation was. But at any rate, Reverend Jesse Jackson and Mrs. Jacqueline Jackson were hospitalized over the weekend, and they are in Chicago in their hometown there. She is said to be doing well, as is Reverend Jackson. I don't know if you all remember back in, I think it was almost at the beginning of the year, he was one of the early ones to get the vaccine, and encouraging people to get the vaccine. And he did have a conversation with Dr. Benjamin Davis, who is also the CEO of the National Newspaper Publishers Association. They had a conversation on Sunday, and he said that talking about the importance of vaccinations, and they are receiving the best care. And he said that he's doing fine and that they are both being well cared for. And of course, talking about her pre-existing conditions, but also Reverend Jackson has announced over the year or so that he is battling Parkinson's disease, and now, of course, diagnosed with COVID. And so I did reach out to Congressman Jesse Jackson, a former congressman, and he said that they are receiving the best of care. So we wish them good luck and good health.
Yes, we do.
And I say this in advance of the big news that has come out, that finally the FDA has approved one of the vaccines, and this is the Pfizer vaccine. And they say that this is the first to secure the Food and Drug Administration validation. The president went on television to make his first pitch for skeptics to get that shot to fight the relentless pandemic. Now, this is for people who are age 16 and older, and those who are 12 and between 12 and 16 can still get the emergency authorized vaccine. But they've been using the 2-dose emergency vaccine since December, and now it's all good according to the FDA. Do you think this is going to help things, ladies?
I don't. I mean, I just think it's a situation with the vaccine. People that aren't vaccinated, they're going to get it when they're going to get it. Because people that aren't vaccinated, I know some of them have BS reasons, but some of them have legitimate reasons. So I think they'll still move at their own pace.
It's really good.
But eventually I think we're going to have to take it. Everybody's going to have to take it. We're in the United States of America. They're going to walk you down. If you've been living long enough, you already can see. They keep saying every day on the news, take the shot, take the shot. Take the shot, take the shot, take the shot.
Oh,
hello,
goodness.
sir. Take the shot, ma'am. Take the shot.
Have you
Sir,
taken the
take
shot?
the shot.
Right.
So, I mean, if you can't hear that dog whistle, so I think, you know what I mean? So I just think that at this time, if people don't trust the vaccine, Pfizer, it looks like Pfizer rushed to approve it. I mean, like the FDA rushed to approve it. So I don't know if that'll make a big difference, but eventually everybody's going to have to get on board. So it's just a matter when you say, okay, let me go do this because this is just what I have to do.
Coy, as one who is depending upon your zinc and your elderberry, do you think that this FDA approval is going to make a difference for people who have not gotten the vaccine?
I think it is going to make a difference with a small percentage, because what is going on with the healthcare industry is they're trying to make people more comfortable with what they're getting with this vaccine. So if an FDA approval helps to ease the tensions and the fears of some people are saying, what about the fact that it's not FDA approved? Those are the people that are likely going to say, okay, I can go ahead and get it now, which it still doesn't cover all people, but it gets some people, through the door.
So let me pose this to you, because I was watching the news this afternoon, and they were talking about the full approval by the FDA of this Pfizer vaccine. And one woman who has lost family members to the coronavirus, members plural, said in answer to the question, no, I'm not going to run out and get the vaccine just yet. They said, but it's been approved by the FDA. You have their full full backing of this vaccine. She goes, no, there's still some things I need to check out. There are people who are just not going to do it. I don't know what the punishment other than death will be to get them to do it, but there are still people who are just not, they're not on board, Dom.
They're just not on board.
They're not.
They're just not going to do it. And you know, that's, go ahead, Coy. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Coy.
I'm just going to say, you just have to let people choose what they choose and live their lives, how they live their life at that point. To be honest, everybody has their reasons, and people are sticking beside them whether they decide to get the vaccine or not.
Yeah.
And you can no longer use the excuse, well, it hasn't been approved. It was an emergency use for the last 8 months. And now, and as the president said, if you're one of the millions of Americans who said they will not get the shot until it has full and final approval, it has now happened. And it's time for you to get that vaccination. But I think that there are people, black, white, brown, you name it, who are still not on board with this. And it makes me sad, especially when you think about the people who have died because they didn't get it. And they're telling their family members, their friends on their deathbeds, do it.
It's terrible.
It is sad, but when people, when people have their mind made up about stuff, what can you say? You know what I'm saying? And it's just people.
I mean, you're right.
It's nothing you can really say. I mean, if people get sick from the virus, everybody don't die. With or without the vaccine, we see.
But this variant,
we saw that the first. Right.
It's going to continue getting bad too, because the virus just doesn't die. It's just going to continue.
Yeah, it just continues to get bad. But the fact of the matter is everybody can get the virus, vaccinated or not vaccinated. So we still got a whole problem.
It's still a problem, Dom.
It's still a whole mess and a whole problem that we're dealing with. But people going to do, I mean, I hear the horror stories and everything, but people just, when they make up their mind about stuff, they just like, that's what I'm sticking with.
I'm sticking with it. Yeah, that's my answer.
And the sad part about it is they stick with it, but they don't do anything to protect themselves.
And that's the other part.
That's the other part. You know, if you're not going to get the vaccine, you're not going to get the vaccine. You know, if you're not going to get the vaccine, you're going to stand in the middle of the concerts and stuff without no mask. That's how you getting down. So, I mean, how you working it to at least try to protect yourself? You're not taking vitamins. You're not doing anything to try to protect yourself with your decision. So, I mean, ultimately, what do you think is going to happen?
It's a death. It's a death call. At the Trump rally in Alabama, he said, "Get your vaccine." I took the vaccine, and he got boos. His people booed him for encouraging them to get the vaccine. So. If his own people who will live and die by what he says and does, if they are booing him, what? Where do you go from there? I never thought I'd hear that.
Well, they gotta boo him. You ain't about to lead me down a damn dark alley and then in the middle of me lost finding my way through the dark down this alley. What you talking about? Boo. Boo.
But
Orange man, boo.
These are his people.
But they want him to stay on the message he been on.
Message.
He went deep. You know what I mean? He went way deep. He went, so you know how you get to a point of no return? The way he talked reckless out his mouth, he's at a point of no return. You can't switch up now. I done stood by this lie that you just gonna be the president in August or next week or whatever it is.
Hey, listen,
I done stood by that lie. Yeah, I done stood by that lie. I done damn near drank bleach trying to get rid of COVID the first time. Then you say the vaccine ain't no good. You can't come back now and tell me after I done followed you all the way down this foolishness that you vaccinated. That needs to boo. Talk about something else. Boo.
Yeah.
Be a Gemini all day long.
All day. Dr. R on YouTube says, "Hello, I am praying that God will help me accept the decision that others are making about not taking the vaccine." That's my prayer too, is accepting that, because I and people who have not taken the vaccine and they have fought what appears to be the Delta variant and they've come out on top, I think that they are lucky.
Very blessed.
And Monique Hamilton also on YouTube says, why are so many children getting the virus and dying now? That's not been the case. This Delta variant, as Coy was talking about, as well as the next one, and I'm not sure that it's Lambda, but there is another one that has already been seen in several states. This variant is so much more deadly than the original coronavirus, the alpha, if you will. And so as a result, or beta, whatever it is, the original that hit this country is different. It's far deadlier, and it is taking the lives of our babies. And as you can see, the intensive care units in the neonatal, the pediatric intensive care units, they have no beds in a lot of these states, especially in the South.
And plus, with people going back to school, like kids are going back to school with a lack of mandates and what have you. I don't know if you all have been keeping up with what's going on in Georgia with the governor basically saying, well, private businesses don't have the right to enforce mask mandates, vaccination mandates, and stuff like that. And it kind of just really covers people under the fact that, okay, yes, we do need to keep the economy going and stuff like that. And people do need to have the right to choose. It goes with constitutional rights, but also it shows no discretion towards how many lives are going to be lost at the cost of.
And that's Georgia. So here in Texas, Coy, we have a governor who did get vaccinated. He was out after his anti-mask mandate. He was out with a bunch of people for a political fundraiser. Nobody had a mask on in this Republican enclave, and he got the virus. Now, it did not hit him because he has been vaccinated. But this is also the same man that doesn't want kids to be forced to wear masks in school. And a lot of these school districts, they've gone to the state Supreme Court to turn it over. It is, why are we are getting shut down again, Monique, on YouTube. It's happening. We are not hearing the way that it was, but it's happening. The shutdowns are happening.
It's a possibility. I wouldn't deny it because it's happened before. And a lot of people, there's been a lot of conversations and stuff lately about how, well, this is what the governor says for each state, and the president can't come in and say, the president did it before.
Right.
What makes you think that he's not going to do it again? Especially this is the executive of the United States.
Yeah. And once these viruses continue and they're not forced to wear the mask, and it's going to and it's going to take on and the variant will the deadlier variant beyond Delta will come about, and we are not paying attention to it.
And you can thank the Republican Party for that. Because Donald Trump could have mandated mask wearing and all those things when he was in office. Instead, he sat up there and played the clown that he is.
Right.
While this virus was getting out of control, giving people rights and liberties that they shouldn't have had. And these governors in these Republican states, they sat there and they allowed it.
Yep.
DeSantis, the governor in Texas, Abbott. And he real wicked to me. I ain't never seen nobody handicapped this wicked. That's crazy. I would at least be trying to pray for a breakthrough. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You in the wheelchair and you this wicked.
Yep. Rolling Greg Abbott. Absolutely.
Rolling Greg Abbott.
And his lieutenant governor is no better. His lieutenant governor, Dan Patrick.
Set up there and said black people the reason why the vaccine. That's not, I don't believe that. Show me. And then the lady, what's the horse lady on Fox? I call her the horse lady.
Laura Ingraham.
Yeah, the horse lady didn't ask for no statistics or nothing.
Did you know her name?
No.
Huh? You said what?
Like we knew.
We knew. You knew her name.
We knew.
Yeah, the horse lady. Because that's how she looked. All like she's sitting up there. Every time she say something, Coy, that's all I hear. You know, so she sat up there and they sat up there and they didn't say anything. You know what I mean? And she said, you're not going to give any statistics or anything. It's just so because he said it. And these politics have cost a lot of lives, have caused a lot of confusion. Instead of that administration, that Trump administration getting on board saying, we're going to take care of this. We're going to mandate masks. We're going to shut down. We're going to do X, Y, and Z. They didn't do it, and time was passing by. And here we are today.
It's time for us to talk about what's really going on. Here we go. And we have the stories, and I want to know, and I'm asking including myself, I'm having a conversation with two other women who have not been married, but this still is a question for me.
Plan on it though.
Well, good. Okay. And I can't speak for you, Dominique. I don't know what your marital plans are. I think that
I'm not against it.
I'm not against it, but I just don't know that there's anybody who wants to be bothered with me at this age. So
me too, Sid. I'm crying.
Look in the comments and somebody gonna say something.
and we're going to check on their mental health. But my question is, I am very curious about the divorce of long married couples. What's really going on? Do you just get to a point where you just can't take it anymore? You're just so darn sick and tired of them that, and this is just the second of many marriages, but I'm just going to two of many marriages, I should say. First, this year we had the divorce of the long married couple, Bill and Melinda Gates. They were married 27, 28 years, and she just had enough. You know, it was way above her head, way above her pay grade. Well, I'm not sure what her pay grade is now that the divorce has been settled. But she got tired of maybe the girlfriend and he going off on their yearly vacation. Maybe she got tired of hearing about all of the rumors about him hitting on women at the Microsoft offices. Maybe she got tired of, any number of his quirky little things like being friends with a pedophile who killed himself. Whatever it was. Maybe she just had enough. So recently, there's been the announcement that Steph Curry's parents, and we know them as Del and Sonia Curry, have parted ways. And Sonia Curry has filed for divorce from her husband of over 30 years. They've been married since 1988. She put in the paperwork in June in North Carolina, according to court records, and the divorce is ongoing. Details surrounding the reason, we don't know why, but that's the conversation I want to have with you. And I've told this story before. My mother has been married multiple times. My mother was, during my lifetime, she was just married to my dad. But what happens? What do you think? If it's from your parents, your friends, somebody is just saying, maybe she just wants something different. And I'm all for that because I will return something in a heartbeat. I just don't know you can do it with your children or your spouse. But so what do you all think? What do you all think? And you think about this. Deborah Clark Fairfax on YouTube says she's ready to go after, oh my God, 45 years. Mr. is non-commutative and I am oversaturated. Tied.
And that's what it boiled down to, Sid. Marriage been over. That's what it looked like. Yeah. It's been over and people have reasons why they hanging on. I'm going to leave after the baby graduate from high school. I'm going to leave after this one. And just been tired. And just got to a place where, you know what? She can have it. She can have this headache because I'm sick of her. I'm sick of you. My son's in the NBA. I'm going to be good.
My sons
are doing well. Both of them. And
my daughter is married. Everybody's good. We're
go
good.
ahead, Dale. And I'm tired of sitting up here with you at these games. My friend don't like it. He don't like it, see. He tired of sitting up there looking lovey-dovey. And I want him to come to the game. And the kids like him. So I'm going to go ahead and do a farewell. I'm not about to get... And they keep putting the camera on us like we about to do the kiss cam. And that's not about to...
It's not happening.
So I need to bring my friend. He want to come to the game.
Before the next season starts, huh, Dom?
And before the next season, Stephen, they like him. The grandkids, they like him. And I'm tired of sitting up here by you like this. Put the kiss cam on them. I don't even like him no more. That's been over. What the lady say? Tied. So we gonna just straighten this out. You go ahead, Dale. You go over there with her, and I'm gonna be over here with Paul.
with my friend.
With my friend.
So
Think
let
it
me
also,
ask you, young Coy. These people have been married longer than you've been alive in these cases. So let me just ask you, what do you think? And so you would be on the side of their children, and who may be asking these questions. What do you think? Because you are a young woman hoping to get married, and you've heard these conversations, I'm sure.
Yes, I have. I think a lot of people don't realize that as you get older, you grow, you change. Where some things start working, things stop working. And not even just like physical wise. Some people
Sure.
don't have the same type of stamina to have all these kinds of conversations and going out like you used to. All those things change. I feel like a lot of people wait until a certain amount of time has passed.
Mhm.
Also, because I just found this out with my dad, rest in peace. After you're married for, I think, like 10 years or more, if your partner, for instance, passes, and even if you got divorced after 10 years, you can still claim benefits from their Social Security. So I think a lot of people stay married. So if there is a divorce later on down the line after 10 years, 15 years, 25, 35, it's hard to say who gets what unless
Right.
you had a prenup agreement. And a lot of people, I think divorces would happen a lot sooner if there were a lot more prenuptial agreements. But because a lot of people are old school or didn't even think of that, didn't believe in that, or it just wasn't a thing when they got married, they're staying married long enough to say, hey, our life is like this, and to separate it, I'm gonna have to take some and he's gonna have to take some, so all of us can be happy, because there is no split down the middle.
And I think that for us to think that nothing is going to change.
There we go.
Well, okay. But I
I
also think that there's something about the fact that, we go into these things and you hear this, even, and it doesn't even matter if it's a marital relationship, but you change. You promised that, you would love, honor, and stick with me through sickness and in health. But you've changed. And sometimes that change just doesn't, it doesn't even have to be the change in who you like and who you want to sleep with. It's just a change in personality, a change in the way you're thinking, a change in the way you approach people. And so this is just but the others. So Dom, what do you go in with the possibility then at this stage of our lives, Dominique? Would you go into a marriage thinking, well, if it works, it works. If it doesn't,
I think we might stand a better chance at this stage. You know what I'm saying? If we get somebody that's settled and, he's settled, he got all this little running out of him. See, you know what I mean? Chilled down, foot swell up every now and again.
I ain't finna do a whole bunch of crazy stuff.
Ain't gonna do a whole bunch of crazy stuff. You know what I mean? So it all depends on the guy. If you get the right guy, I think you'll be all right at this stage.
Okay.
I think you will.
Here we have Marva Wilson Parker. After 33 years, she says on Facebook, I'm still hanging in there, but peace of mind is a defining moment in a marriage. When you no longer have that, it's time to go. And I think she's speaking for these women, and I can't speak for Melinda Gates. I can't speak for Sonia Curry, but I think that is really key. When you no longer have that peace of mind, and I'm talking PEACE of mind, then it's time to go. Yeah, and life's too short.
And then people forget that Dale Curry was in the NBA, so she lived through a whole bunch of years with an NBA player.
Right.
So what that can entail. So
right.
I'm happy for Sonia Curry.
Yeah.
Do your thing.
And TYO Dimples reminds us Blair Underwood and his wife. Yes. And they were 25 plus years.
And Camille Cosby took her ring off last week, so I hear. So look like she next. I know she don't want to sit around him.
I think some of these people had to, instead of going to look outside of the marriage for other people that they think would have satisfied whatever it is that they're looking for, they should have just, gave their spouse some money, go to the local beauty supply store, buy 50 wigs, change them out, do makeovers, head to toe, get outfits, all that. Like, I just don't think that.
That's funny, Coy.
I think they just dismissed and missed the opportunity, a great opportunity to experiment with a partner. Because they're gonna say yes. You just gotta find the right way to say yes. I don't know.
Yeah. And to make that proposition. Absolutely. I agree with you. Okay. Maybe that's what we give for the wedding gifts now. We give them gift certificates to the wig store. Hey, Brian, how are you? Brian on Facebook says, I was married for 25 years. I realized we were not compatible after 15 years, but tried to hang in there. So when my ex-wife asked for a divorce, I said yes. I didn't offer marriage counseling or any solutions. I said, sure. Okay.
Now that might hurt my feelings.
If you don't try.
You ain't even, okay. So we was okay. All right then, Brian.
Okay, so let me ask you the other side of this. And this is also in the news, an old new relationship. I am, and it might be just me, I'm really bothered by the whole J-Lo and Ben Affleck thing, because everything with them is, I love the electricity. I love their passion for each other and all of that. But everything just seems so fast. They were together in 2002. They got up to the day before their marriage in 2004. They announced they were breaking off the engagement. That was 2004, the day before they were supposed to get married. Fast forward, she married Mark Anthony and had the twins like that. So obviously she does things very quickly. He met another Jennifer. They got married, had 3 kids. She divorced Mark
Jennifer.
Anthony. Yeah. He likes the Bennifer thing apparently. So he gets married. They have 3 kids, and she has the twins. Then she and Mark Anthony broke up. She got involved in a couple of other different relationships and ended up with A-Rod. She and A-Rod had, he proposed, got down, all of that, and then they got divorced. They got separated after their engagement broke up, and within weeks, it seems like. Maybe even days, Ben Affleck was right there. And now the problem that I have with this is that there are kids involved, and it just, and now, they're going to lunch or to the plays and stuff with his kids, her kids, and all that. It just seems so fast to me. And maybe it's just old fashioned on my part.
Yeah, see, I don't think she's been moving fast since Puffy. So you're right. That's what you're right. Do.
You're right.
She speedballed through men so fast.
She's right.
I mean,
you're right.
Puffy. She been speedballing.
Yeah.
I think she just like to make sure she don't have to get her no date for red carpet event. And she like, let me go get me a new man. I might have to go out with somebody. I'm fine with Ben. I done been down this road with Ben. He didn't calm down. He done got old. He done been married. And let me see, I really liked him.
Yeah.
It just, the timing wasn't right. So maybe now me and Ben can do some things.
I worry about them, Coy, because mark my words, there's something about her daughter that's just not right. And I don't know what it is about this little girl, but every time I see her, I'm like, she is just crying out for attention or help or something. And I think that just affects it. But what do you think, Coy? Is it, and you're of that generation, so where things move very fast. You don't have time to wait. You just got to go. Come on. So what do you think?
I will say there is this piece of advice that was floating around Instagram that said basically
that's where I want to get mine. Okay, so give me the IG advice.
Reach back to our past men so we don't increase our body count.
Oh. Okay.
That could be a factor.
Okay.
So you got to go back and revisit, like, hey, maybe this person actually was good.
Wasn't so bad after all.
You know what I'm saying? I was just tripping a little bit earlier. And I'm looking up their birthdays, and they're both Leos, and it says that's a 78% chance of working out. So maybe they could work.
Okay.
Well,
they might be hanging on that right side of the 78%. I don't know.
As a Leo, I've not had good luck with Leos. But then I haven't had good luck with Scorpios. I haven't had good luck with you name them, and it's me. It's me. I'm okay with that. So, Dom. So, do you think would you go back, Dom?
I mean, if it was really some chemistry there back then in the time it was wrong, I don't mind.
Yeah.
I don't mind. I'll give it a shot and I'll see. Let's try and let's see.
What do you got to lose?
What we got to lose? We're
Okay.
older now.
Yeah.
We're different people now. So maybe, what I thought was going to be back then can be now. So I'm
All
not
right,
opposed to
let's
that.
check out what you need to know. That is our newsletter. That is the name of our newsletter. What you need to know news, and it is a 5 day a week newsletter, and it comes out every Monday through Friday morning. So if you'd like to subscribe, and we invite you to do so, it is absolutely free. Go to SybilWilkes.com. Sybil like the crazy girl, Wilkes like John Wilkes Booth. Put it all together. Give us your name and your email address, and it'll be in your email box first thing. And first thing every Monday through Friday morning. Part of
Early.
part of
Early.
our little band of writers and our family of crew is Coy Malone. She is our social justice activist, and she contributes to the newsletter several times a week. And Coy, you have a story today, and you talk and I gotta tell you, Coy, I don't know how you do it as often as you do, but these stories, they're necessary, and yet it breaks my heart. And I don't know how you are able to write and do as well as you do with these stories. But this is the headline: Black mother beaten unconscious at a traffic stop. Tell us the story.
Whew. This comes out of Sacramento County, California. A 33-year-old woman was driving with her two daughters that are 4 and 6 years old, her 3-year-old niece, and her father was in the passenger seat. They're taking like a 2.5-hour drive. She decided to pull over and ask to switch with her dad because she was tired. Police saw that they had pulled over. They approached the car. She attempted to approach the officers and say, what's the problem? They were yelling at her, telling her to get back in the car, just get back in the car. And then they said, you know what? We're detaining you. They grab this woman, handcuff her, punch, kick, and kneed her in the back of the head. And then they dragged her towards the patrol car. She goes unconscious during this time. She wakes up in the back of the patrol car. So she's asking to go to the hospital. At first they say no. And then they finally honor that request. When paramedics got there, they said, oh, she's only been unconscious for about a minute. And she brought it on herself because she's been fighting officers and she was trying to run. However, there is a lawsuit out now, which is why this is being released, showing that she never fought back. She didn't even speak to them in a disrespectful way. She was actually unconscious for about 5 minutes or more, which indicates that there's a possible concussion. She was taken to the hospital, but in their patrol car, not with medical personnel, where they did not evaluate her. She was still jailed and had to post $25,000 bond. And then all her things were confiscated. So she had no money, no phone, no way to get in contact with family. She said actually the homeless people outside of the jail fed her, talked to her, helped her until she was able to get in touch with family. And she was like, I mean, that was
her dad saw this. Her dad was there when all of this was happening.
Her dad saw this, and they were making him, after this was going on, they made him get out of the car, walk backwards, hands up, while they had guns drawn on him. So somehow they allowed for him to leave, but I don't know why. Why did any of this happen in the first place?
Why?
And it's a Black woman with children.
It doesn't matter to them. That doesn't matter. And Sacramento County, you think Northern California, you think in terms of, you think this is happening in the South. But it can happen anywhere.
Anywhere. And these officers were not investigated. There's an accusation within the lawsuit that alleges that the person that was over them, like the Sergeant Roy Stockton, helped to cover up their conduct by not investigating them and also not looking into a group that they're a part of, known as the 3%er, which is an anti-government militia group.
Oh my gosh.
So he also declined to investigate that group and their involvement. So there's so many things that happened that these police were literally allowed to walk away with scot-free. And the only thing that is bringing this to light is the actual lawsuit.
My God. Coy, how did the story come to you? Usually when I see things just, you're looking for these stories to bring to the light. But sometimes I have a little bit of hesitancy bringing them because it just seems so heavy. How do you deal with all this?
Whew. Well,
I know you got your plants there, and I know you eat well, and I know you exercise, but
water, sunlight,
right,
and,
right.
I mentally prepare myself and understand that when I start doing these searches online, that I could pull up a myriad of anything that can basically happen. I have a bad habit of catastrophe thinking, but I think that also helps me when I'm doing research with these stories, because I've seen some of the worst with some of these stories that I cover. And you think that it just won't stop. You think people will see this and learn from the mistakes of other police departments, or from the mistakes of how we handled this mental health situation, or how we handled this child in school, or how this policy didn't work. And people just don't, they are so oblivious and stuck within their world that things just keep getting repeated. So I feel like it's also a part of my duty to, hey, let me present some of these things, but not just opinionated, because we see a lot of opinions, and opinions can be debunked and stuff like that. Let me show you the actual facts. You can't argue with that.
Yeah.
And then you make your decision based off of that.
Right. Absolutely. You're a better woman than I am. When I do the social justice stories, I look for, the stories like we have for tomorrow's newsletter, and talking about Josephine Baker, who was in her time a civil rights activist as well as a war hero, and so she's being honored by the French people. And Josephine Baker's been dead for 50 years. But that she's being recognized again as she was as working for the French resistance against the Nazis. And so those are the kind of things I look for. So, when I'm doing it, as opposed to when Troy and Quinn are doing it, because the stories are just so much heavier. But they are doing the good work. And so I commend you for that. And thank you for all the good work you do. We are talking also about the COVID vaccine, and we're talking about vaccination hesitancy in the newsletter. And this is the most ridiculous thing. As I mentioned, the state of Texas is just another one of those crazy. If you think crazy things happen in Florida, they also happen in Texas. They also happen in Georgia. But this is a case where the lieutenant governor, as Dominique was talking about earlier, the lieutenant governor, Dan Patrick, not that Dan Patrick, not the one with sense and the sports knowledge. This is another Dan Patrick who is just an incredibly ridiculously endowed person in terms of what he's able to do. He's one of those who fails up and becomes the lieutenant governor of the state. So he sees a headline and it does reference the fact that Black people are not getting vaccinated the way that they should. And so he's blaming Democrats and Black people for the surge in the coronavirus. Not taking into
the Republican Party's unmasked.
No, he's not taking into consideration, Coy, the fact that Black people are such a small percentage of these states, of the country. We're 13%, right?
And we've been that percent for the last 100 years.
How long, Dom?
We haven't even grown a percent. That's unbelievable.
Right.
But okay.
So he says the Democrats like to blame Republicans. The biggest groups in most states are African Americans who are not vaccinated. Last time I checked, over 90% of them vote for Democrats in the major cities and major counties. This is with the conversation he had with Laura Ingraham on Fox. According to a poll, the vaccination rate against Black people is low compared to other racial and ethnic groups, looking at 29% vaccinated. But they do point out that the biggest group of the unvaccinated in terms of raw numbers, unvaccinated, largest group are white people.
Thank you.
Contrary to his claims, the vaccine hesitancy among Republican is more than twice what it is among Black people. This poll by the Texas Tribune and University of Texas said that 38% of white Republicans said they would not get a vaccine as soon as it is available to them. 18% of Black people said the same. So you're looking at, what you think are 29%, only 29% are vaccinated, but compared to where we are in the population, the demographics and all of that, it doesn't compare. Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick, who is up for re-election, by the way, people, next year. So please keep that in mind.
Is it a good time to bring up something I came across on TikTok? Speaking of the vaccine, oh my God.
Yes.
What?
This woman that works for a hospital, or worked as of this morning, is a healthcare worker, and decided to say, she basically referenced the vaccine with a sound effect and said, I did my due diligence, and she's afraid that there's going to be something called like a vaccine passport that you're going to need to show proof anywhere you go. So she thought it was a great idea to write out her vaccine number on her arm, like she tattooed it, and said, I'm going to show you guys, shows them like, okay, here's, the numbers and stuff like that. Maybe this will suffice for a passport, except she didn't think that one through, because it mirrors how people were tattooed in the Holocaust. We can also talk about how people were tattooed and branded in slavery, which is a big one.
Oh, was it? Were you watching Marjorie Taylor Greene again? Because she loves to insult Jewish people. She just loves doing that.
I'm just saying, she got fired though. Fired.
Well, good. But she'll get hired somewhere else. That's the sad part. Were either of you affected by the weather this weekend? We had Henri, which really is Henry, that slammed into Rhode Island and also Tennessee had horrific flooding, and people still unaccounted for as a result of that. Either of you involved in any of the weather mishaps recently?
No, ma'am.
Just,
good.
Some rain here and there. Nothing like Tennessee. I read a story headline this morning that said 7-month-old twins gone.
Yeah, a grandmother was with the kids, and one parent had 5 kids and were able to save 4.
Oof.
Yeah. On a happier note, in our business section, giving a tip of the hat to Jay-Z. He definitely has the blueprint for Black entrepreneurship. It's been a very good year for him. He has invested well and is showing the benefits of his investment and doing things for Black people. And one of the latest is his weed company, Dom. And I'm not saying Dom because, I'm just saying.
I mean, that's kind of how it sounded. I said Coy with the sea moss, Dom with the weed. No. I know you're not seeing. I'm just playing.
That's funny. But Dominique, while we're talking about the weed company, he has this company called The Parent Company. This is his foray into cannabis. And as a part of The Parent Company, they hired Troy Dratcher to serve as the company's new chief executive officer. And when he takes over, Mr. Troy Dratcher, who they got from the Clorox company, so he was busy over the last year, his appointment will represent the first time a Black CEO will lead a major public cannabis organization in the United States. Wow. As tied down and as bogged down in the system as Black people have, they have not been given the opportunities to make profits from the cannabis business. Jay-Z is showing them a way, and a Black man is going to be the CEO of a major cannabis company. And so I applaud him. And
I do too. I'm happy about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to get into business.
I do too. I think
I do.
And I'm wondering if I'm too late, Dom. But that is something that I really want to do. I want to invest. If I had a job, I would do that. I would invest.
I want to get into the business, but are you gonna sample what you're selling?
No. And Dom, I can't sample because I don't know. I don't. Well, this is some good stuff because I got nothing.
See, if I'm figuring it out, we're gonna get into business. It's gonna be called Dom, Sibby, C, and Coy can too.
All Nah, plenty of place to grow it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that the what you're growing there, young lady? Okay, all right. Now we know.
I don't know what this is. To be honest, help me. I'm trying to save it. It's just not doing what it needs to do right now.
I was going to ask you
Poor
about
little
one of my
plant.
plants. It's just kind of dropping leaves too. All right, ladies, it is time for entertainment. Let us go to our entertainment news, and this is in relation to some news, but it's also folks doing a good thing, and it's related to one of our favorites, football. So Carson Wentz, remember him from the Philadelphia Eagles, I believe?
Yeah.
Carson Wentz is now with Indianapolis, and he is stepping in to help Haiti following the deadly earthquake that killed over 2,000 people. He is donating $250,000 to those affected by the tragedy, which is great. He announced the gesture via video, saying his wife Madison, his foundation, and Haiti's Mission of Hope are teaming up to help the victims of the earthquake that is still devastating when you think about it, as well as with the weather, as well as the earthquake and what is going on. I also saw Sean Penn on Stephen Colbert's show, and he has been in Haiti with his organization since the 2010 earthquake. This is really good in terms of what people are doing. We don't hear a lot, but they are still there, and people are still there doing good things in the midst of a coronavirus, in the midst of weather, and all these other things, that they're still in there helping people the best they can.
And Sean Penn is a great humanitarian. I have to mention that a lot of people don't remember, or might not remember, or might not realize that he helped a lot during Hurricane Katrina.
Yep. Here's another one. He and Brad Pitt were two of those guys that went down there and helped people get back on their feet. And Sean Penn is just a really caring fellow and really does care about helping the world. And you just got to give him that. I also want to give a tip of the hat to, and this is purely selfish on my part, but I love me some Tank. I just absolutely love.
love Tank too.
I love his music. I love the way he looks. I love and I love his sense of humor, and he gets me too. That is something also, which is kind of important to me, because I don't find that very often. But Tank is celebrating the fact that finally his music, along with Aaliyah's, is being streamed, and that he is going to be able to make some money after years and years of having his music not available to people. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. A certain part of his music has not been available for us to purchase until now.
Wow.
Via streaming. And so he and Aaliyah are going to, or the estate of Aaliyah, going to benefit from this. And we wish him a lot of luck. Not to mention, the physical challenges that he is going through. So last question I have for you. What happened to Salento? Remember Salento? Watch me, Nene. Watch me whip. Watch me, Nene. Watch me. Remember that guy?
I saw him.
What happened to that guy?
He's been indicted. He's been indicted in Georgia for the murder of his cousin.
Oh, whoa!
Yeah,
really?
Yeah. He was arrested in early February. He's been in jail for the murder of his cousin in January of this year. Those close to him say that he has been plagued with mental issues. Of course, he had over 1 billion views on video with the Watch Me Whip Nene song, and was so huge. He was featured on all the TV shows. Even white people knew how to do the dance. And it also heard in a number of movies and what have you. But now, for whatever and however this happened, he is in prison on a murder charge for killing his cousin.
That is crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Absolutely.
Wow.
So wish him well. And especially having these mental issues. Okay. All right, ladies, it is time for us to wrap this up. It's time for the big wrap. I thank you all for joining us. Dom, I wish you a lot of luck out there on the road. I know and always, and I can't speak for Coy, but I'm going to now. It's always so much fun to have you on with us. So I really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me. I always have fun with you and Coy.
Definitely.
And before you
end with the Yogi's Jewel?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much. And you're not going to sing it, are you, Coy?
No.
Okay, thank you. Yogi's Jewel today, move in harmony with the peaceful flow of the universe. I don't know if this is related to the cannabis story, but move in harmony with the peaceful flow of the universe.
Now that can go on the front of the store. That's beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful. You can sit there right there and they'll be like, I'm going to come in and do just that.
Right.
You are brilliant, Dom. Let's do business. All right, everybody. Have a good one. See you later.
All right, bye.
Aloha.